You didn't say anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. But somehow, the relationship is falling apart anyway. And you can feel it. That slow, quiet distance growing between you and someone you care about. So you start thinking, did I say the wrong thing? Why did they reply so late? Do they even still care? And before you know it, it's 2 a.m. You haven't slept, and you've had an entire argument in your head with someone who has no idea it even happened. That's not love. That's a trap. And today we're going to talk about how overthinking doesn't just live in your head. It slowly destroys the relationships you're working hardest to protect. Most people think overthinking is just a thinking problem. It's not. It's a behavior problem. Because your thoughts don't stay in your head. They leak out. They leak out when you overanalyze a short reply. When you go quiet because you're editing everything before it leaves your mouth. When you decode someone saying, I'm fine for 3 hours. And the person on the other side, they don't see the overthinking. They just see someone distant, anxious, and after a while, exhausting to be around. Not because you're a bad person, but because anxiety has a smell and people feel it even when they can't name it. Here's what nobody tells you. Your brain isn't broken. In fact, it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. At some point, probably when you were younger, love felt unpredictable. Maybe your mom left without warning, or your parents' affection was conditional. So your brain made a decision. I will think of every possible outcome. I will not be blindsided again. That was smart then. It kept you safe. But you're not in that situation anymore. And the same strategy that protected you as a child is now pushing away the people who actually want to stay. It creates problems that don't exist. When you overanalyze a canceled plan or a changed tone, you start reacting to a story you wrote yourself. You pull back. You get cold. And now there's real tension that started entirely in your head. It makes you impossible to reassure. Your partner says, I love you. For 5 minutes, you feel okay. Then the thoughts creep back. So they keep proving themselves over and over until they get tired. Not of you, of never being enough to quiet the noise. And worst of all, it steals your presence. You're physically there, but mentally somewhere else entirely. And loneliness inside a relationship is one of the worst kinds of loneliness there is. So what do you actually do? First, name the thought. Don't become it. When the spiral starts, say to yourself, this is my anxiety talking. This is not facts. You don't have to fight the thought. Just create distance from it. Second, ask one question before you react. Do I have actual evidence for this? Or am I filling silence with fear? Most of the time, it's fear. And fear deserves compassion, not action. Third, communicate instead of making a mountain out of a molehill. Instead of 4 hours of guessing, just ask, hey, you seemed off earlier. Is everything okay? One honest sentence does more than 100 anxious thoughts ever will. Lastly, work on the root, not just the symptoms. Overthinking in relationships is almost always about old pain, wearing a new face. Here's what I want you to take away from this. Overthinking doesn't mean you're crazy. It means you care deeply, and you're terrified of losing what matters to you. That's deeply human. But the people meant to be in your life don't need a perfect, anxiety-free version of you. They need the real one, the one who's trying. The goal isn't to think less. It's to slowly, gently learn to trust more. If this video helped you see something about yourself, share it with someone who needs to hear it too. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Every week we go deep on the things that actually affect how we live, love, and connect. I'll see you in the next one.